Have you ever noticed how quickly people decide how smart you are? Not after a test, not after a long conversation. Sometimes it happens in seconds. You say something, you react a certain way, and suddenly the room feels different. People explain things more slowly. They stop asking your opinion. They don't say it out loud, but you can feel it. And the uncomfortable truth is this. Most intelligence judgments aren't logical, they're behavioral. People aren't measuring your IQ, they're reading signals, the way you speak, the way you react under pressure, the way you handle disagreement. From those small cues, the brain makes a shortcut decision, smart or not worth taking seriously. This video isn't about whether you're intelligent. It's about everyday habits that quietly trigger that assumption, even in people who are capable, thoughtful, and sharp. Because psychology shows something important. Intelligence is rarely tested. It's inferred. And once you understand how those inferences happen, a lot of confusing social moments start to make sense. Because most of the time, it isn't one big mistake, it's a pattern of small habits. Number 1. Talking confidently without explaining yourself. You jump straight to the conclusion. In your head, the reasoning is obvious, but no one else can see it. So instead of sounding sharp, it can sound like guessing. When people can't follow your thinking, they don't argue with it. They quietly stop trusting it. Number 2. Reacting instead of pausing, interrupting, defending immediately, correcting small things. It feels honest, but under pressure, fast reactions don't read as passion. They read as lack of control. Even when you're right, the point loses weight. Number 3. Seeing everything in extremes, right or wrong, smart or stupid, win or lose. It feels clear and decisive, but real thinking usually lives in the gray. When that gray never shows, people assume the depth isn't there, even if the opinion itself is solid. Number 4. Getting defensive when questioned. A simple why feels like an attack, so you push harder instead of slowing down. From the outside, it doesn't look like confidence. It looks like the idea can't breathe without protection. Number 5. Blaming others too easily. Bad boss, bad timing, bad system. Sometimes that's true, but when it becomes the default explanation, people stop seeing circumstances and start seeing someone who isn't in control of outcomes. Up to this point, these are the habits most people already notice. What comes next is quieter and usually more damaging. Number 6. Never being curious. No follow-up questions. No interest in how things connect. You might still know a lot, but when curiosity is missing, people assume the thinking stops early, and they stop bringing you deeper conversations. Number 7. Talking more than listening. Jumping in before someone finishes. Waiting to respond instead of trying to understand. It feels confident, but it signals missed information, and people trust those who absorb before they speak. Number 8. Acting without thinking ahead. Quick decisions, dealing with consequences later. Once in a while, that's normal. But as a pattern, it makes people expect chaos, and they stop taking your judgment seriously. Number 9. Needing constant approval, checking reactions, adjusting your point mid-sentence. Instead of openness, people feel uncertainty, and uncertainty quietly weakens credibility. Number 10. Refusing to admit mistakes. Standing your ground no matter what feels strong. But socially, intelligence shows up in correction. When someone never updates their thinking, people stop updating their respect. These habits don't define intelligence, but they strongly shape how intelligence is read, often long before anyone sees what you're actually capable of. And once that reading forms, it tends to stick. The good news is, those signals aren't permanent, they're patterns. And patterns can change once you're aware of them. If this helped you understand how people quietly judge intelligence, subscribe. We break down everyday psychology, clear, simple, and grounded.